I'm bored. The oldest complaint in human history? You just heard it. The wind howls. Dad stares into the fire. The fire has no suggestions. Dad's big solution, he points at the rock. The kid has already seen the rock. That sentence is 40,000 years old. And the night somebody finally did something about it, they accidentally invented everything you love. This is how humans beat boredom, and why you should be glad they did. You, 40,000 years ago, mid-January. The sun quits at 4. The night ahead is 14 hours long, pitch black past the fire's little dome, and the cold outside it is not a temperature. It's a verdict. Tonight's entertainment section fully booked. Fire, weather, and a rock. Remember that rock? We'll come back to it. And out here, boredom isn't harmless. Ask any hunter. A mind gone numb misses the print in the snow. A camp that stops caring stops moving. Winter forgives neither. Here's the twist. Boredom was never the enemy. Boredom is a deadline with feelings. It's evolution's project manager. Builds nothing itself, but will not stop tapping the desk until you do. That itch of, there must be something more? That's the species' oldest engine turning over. Plenty of animals get restless. Only one species got restless, and invented the encore. Fun didn't appear despite boredom. Fun was invented because of it. The proof sits in a cave in southern Germany called Hohle Fels. Owlet scientists digging there uncovered a flute, carved from the wing bone of a griffon-vulture, 5 finger holes about as long as your forearm. Age, roughly 40,000 years. The oldest musical instrument anyone has ever found. A hollow bird bone. Somebody looked at dinner's leftovers and heard a concert. And look closer. The holes are measured, spaced, carved with flint tools and patience. This wasn't a doodle. Somebody engineered joy, on purpose, in the dark, in January. The premiere, what is it? Pointy air, then he plays. The fire crackles, nobody breathes. Do the mammoth one again. That request, again, is the encore being born. The entire entertainment industry in one word. But the flute isn't even the strange part. The same hills hold ivory horses, mammoths, and one figure you don't forget. The Lion Man. Half lion, half human. Carved from mammoth ivory around the same 40,000 year mark. A superhero, 40 millennia before comic books. The merchandise came later. Music, sculpture, ornament, a whole workshop of imagination switching on across the region, camp by camp, carried on foot, traded hand to hand. Beat boredom once, and the fix outlives you? The rock, meanwhile, day 200, has a name now, and a following. And the story gets older. Blombos Cave, South Africa, a small stone flake carrying a tidy crosshatch scribbled in red ochre-crayon, the oldest known drawing on Earth at 73,000 years. It looks exactly like a hashtag. And I'm being scientific here, which, sure. 33,000 years before the flute, someone was already doodling on the supply crate. And the strangest find? Saved the best for last, because it isn't an object at all. Hold that. Apologists sat with the Jew Hoansi people of the Kalahari and simply counted what humans talk about. In daylight, talk is business. Plans, food, land, complaints. The office channel, sunrise to sunset, 40,000 years, and the meeting agenda has not changed. But when the fire took over, the ledger closed. By firelight, 81% of the long fireside talk turned into one single thing. Stories. Every night. The same channel. The fire wasn't just heat. It was our species' first prime time. And surely nothing else interesting ever happened in those firelit hours. Surely. Today that flute rests under museum glass in Germany, and it still holds its tune. Hold it up to the light and look through the 5 holes. Researchers carved a replica and played it, real melodies, modern tunes, out of a bird bone older than farming. That same 5-note logic still hums under lullabies, film scores, and whatever you played this morning. 40,000 winters stand between you and the bored genius who carved it, and the itch you feel on a slow Sunday afternoon is the same itch that moved his hands. It was never a flaw. It's the restlessness that filled caves with ivory lions, night air with music, and long winters with stories. That's you, the bored ape, the one that turns empty hours into things worth keeping. Back at the fire, the kid inspects the invention. Can I break it? It's culture now. The rock, retired with full honors. It opens for the flute on feast nights. And tonight, when your thumb hovers, bored, over a glowing screen, somewhere in you, a vulture bone flute clears its throat. But here's what that firelight was hiding. Nobody around it planned to sleep through the night. Nobody ever had. What they did in that midnight hour instead, that's the next episode at this fire.